You're watching Artificial Equity, where the code meets the concrete. If you're new here, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss when we uncover how artificial intelligence is changing the real estate game across America. Every week, we dive into the data that drives the market, what's real, what's manipulated, and what's coming next. Today's episode takes us inside the world of algorithms, automation, and the housing markets they now control. This isn't just about homes anymore, it's about prediction, profit, and power. Because the truth is, AI isn't coming to real estate, it's already here. And the question we're asking today is simple. Which cities are leading the charge, and which ones are quietly being rewritten by code? Welcome to Artificial Equity, and this is the countdown of the top 10 cities in California using AI in real estate. San Jose sits at the heart of Silicon Valley, the birthplace of the algorithm that turned real estate into pure computation. Here, a home isn't just shelter, it's a data stream. Predictive engines scan listings, credit histories, commute routes, and social feeds every second, updating what they call living appraisals. Prices move like stocks, rising and falling in microseconds as the market breathes through code. Realtors no longer chase open houses, they chase dashboards. The old handshake is now an API call. Inside sleek glass towers, startups trade square footage like digital currency. They don't talk about neighborhoods anymore. They talk about nodes, clusters, and training sets. Machine learning models run on petabytes of local data, mapping patterns that humans can't even see. And AI notices when your neighbor searches for new home loans and adjusts valuations across the block before lunch. In San Jose, anticipation is currency. The algorithms predict intent, and investors act before anyone else even knows the trend exists. For buyers, it's like stepping into a casino where every slot machine already knows your next pull. The neural capital rewards speed, not sentiment. And beneath the calm surface of tree-lined streets and pastel condos, there's a silent war for milliseconds. Each property is a signal pulsing through servers, competing to stay profitable inside an invisible race. The risk? When optimism is automated, correction becomes instantaneous. No slow fade, no warning, just collapse calculated in real time. For now, the city still glows green on the dashboards. But every boom built on certainty eventually meets the one variable no system can solve: human hesitation. This is San Jose, ground zero for the algorithmic frontier, and the first step in our countdown of the top 10 cities in California using AI in real estate. Los Angeles is where fantasy becomes economy. It's a city that has always sold illusion, first through film, now through data. But this time, the illusion builds homes. Across LA, from the hills of Silver Lake to the towers of downtown, algorithms act as architects. They design, they forecast, they even dictate where the next boom should begin. Every square mile is mapped not by surveyors, but by neural planners that analyze millions of variables: traffic density, income trends, social media sentiment, even the tone of local news headlines. Developers no longer guess where to build, they simulate. Artificial intelligence runs urban models that show how a single apartment complex could shift a neighborhood's future before a single brick is laid. It predicts the grocery stores that will follow, the crime rates that might fall, and the school zones that will surge in value. On glowing dashboards inside LA's luxury offices, the future looks like a rendered video game, except the stakes are real money. These systems don't just help construction, they replace intuition. In the old days, investors walked the streets to feel a neighborhood's pulse. Now, they stare at color-coded heat maps, glowing yellow for growth, red for decline. What's next isn't guessed. It's graft. Every blueprint, every zoning request, every mortgage application runs through a predictive filter that ranks its potential return. Even city planners have begun to rely on AI zoning tools that reallocate resources based on algorithms, not activism. The problem? When the machine gets it wrong everywhere at once. Entire districts shift in the wrong direction before anyone can intervene. The line between efficiency and manipulation blurs fast. And in Los Angeles, perception is everything. When an AI predicts that a neighborhood will trend downward, investors pull out instantly, creating the very decline they feared. A self-fulfilling prophecy written in data. The Algorithmic Architect builds with precision, but destroys with speed. Yet, despite the risks, the city embraces it. Because here, control has always been the ultimate illusion. And now, the machines have mastered it. San Francisco was once the city of gold. Now it's the city of data. Every block, every building, every human movement is part of a larger pattern, a pattern owned, measured, and sold. In this city, real estate isn't just about location anymore, it's about observation. Artificial intelligence here doesn't just predict value, it watches it evolve in real time. Sensors line the streets, cameras rid traffic, and algorithms monitor noise, energy use, and even social activity. The city breathes through a network of surveillance-feeding machine learning models that track value like a pulse. In luxury towers overlooking the bay, investors stare at dashboards that show which neighborhoods are trending, not because of open houses, but because of foot traffic data scraped from smartphones. AI can tell which coffee shop is gaining momentum, which park is drawing new families, and which streetlights burn longer in gentrifying areas. It turns the invisible signals of life into metrics of profit. Home values shift as the algorithm reads human behavior, translating culture into currency. It feels efficient, almost prophetic, but beneath the surface, something colder is happening. The same systems that predict success also define failure. An AI trained to spot low-value zones can flag entire communities for decline before residents even realize it's happening. Mortgages dry up, insurance rates climb, and suddenly an algorithm's opinion becomes a sentence. In San Francisco, the fight for fairness isn't just political, it's computational. Lawsuits have already begun challenging how machine learning defines risk. But how do you argue with a black box? The code doesn't care about context, it only cares about correlation. The surveillance market thrives on precision, not compassion. To it, people are data points and neighborhoods are trends waiting to be monetized. The same technology that built the digital revolution is quietly rewriting the moral one. In this city, the line between innovation and intrusion has vanished. Progress comes at a cost, and privacy pays the bill. Sacramento has always lived in the shadow of California's coastal giants, but now it's stepping into a new spotlight, not as a political capital, but as a predictive one. In this city, government data and artificial intelligence have merged into something entirely new. An automated system that doesn't just plan the city, it learns it. Inside City Hall, servers hum beside filing cabinets, translating decades of housing reports into live simulations. The AI models every zoning map, every tax incentive, and every infrastructure proposal, running thousands of digital futures every second. It doesn't ask what should be built. It decides what will work best statistically. The Predictive Planner doesn't dream. It optimizes. Streets are widened not because people complain, but because algorithms forecast congestion before it happens. Housing developments get greenlit not by vote, but by probability. The machine calculates which projects will generate the highest long-term tax return, and the city follows its advice like scripture. For developers, it's a revolution. They submit blueprints directly to the AI's zoning interface, receiving instant projections on environmental impact, commute flow, and potential resale margins. What used to take months now happens in minutes. But progress this fast comes with blind spots. When systems are trained on historical data, they often inherit historical bias. Neighborhoods that once lacked investment now appear statistically risky, making the algorithm less likely to approve them again. The cycle repeats invisibly, mathematical redlining disguised as modernization. And when residents protest, their complaints are logged as anomalies, filtered out as noise. The city moves forward, efficient but detached, perfect on paper, and hollow in spirit. Yet, for Sacramento's officials, it's proof that government can be predictive, not reactive. The AI doesn't sleep, doesn't argue, doesn't forget. It builds what works for the model, not necessarily for the people. And while the system boasts record-breaking efficiency, some are beginning to ask the question that no computer can answer. Who does progress serve when no one's accountable for the outcome? The Predictive Planner may have given Sacramento the blueprint for the future, but it may have also written the citizens out of it. San Diego, the smart coast. Here, the ocean meets the algorithm. Developers and data scientists work side by side to predict the perfect neighborhood before it even exists. Artificial intelligence analyzes tides, temperatures, insurance maps, and climate forecasts to calculate which coastal zones will survive the next 50 years. In some communities, the machine has more authority than the mayor. New developments rise only in green-lighted areas, while red zone districts slowly empty out. Homes are marketed not as addresses, but as risk profiles. Flood-resilient properties jump 30% in value overnight because the AI says so. For residents, it's security through surveillance. For investors, it's a safe bet in an uncertain world. The smart coast glows beautifully on screen, but beneath the waves, whole communities are priced out before they can adapt. Irvine, the automated suburb, everything here runs on metrics. Smart grids balance electricity, smart meters adjust pricing, and smart mortgages shift monthly rates based on your house's energy efficiency. AI monitors every kilowatt and feeds it into a valuation model that updates constantly. A light left on too long could cost you equity. It's a perfect machine for perfect people, and that's the problem. The automated suburb learns your habits faster than you can change them. Convenience becomes control. The algorithm doesn't ask what you need, it decides what's efficient. And in Irvine, efficiency is law. Oakland, the machine mediator. In this city of contradictions, AI was supposed to level the playing field. Banks implemented machine learning models to approve loans without bias, to judge numbers, not names. But somehow the data remembered. Historical inequities were coded into the system, and what was meant to be neutral became another barrier. Neighborhoods long denied credit still find themselves labeled high risk. Automation doesn't discriminate intentionally, it simply mirrors what it was taught. The machine mediator has become a mirror of our collective bias, refusing to look away. For Oakland, the lesson is painful. You can't program fairness without confronting truth. Fresno, the agri-tech experiment. What was once California's breadbasket is now a testing ground for AI-driven urban expansion. Here, algorithms don't just predict housing, they predict harvests. Data from drones, irrigation systems, and crop yield forecasts feed into real estate models that decide when to convert farmland into subdivisions. The AI sees patterns we can't: soil quality, distribution routes, market trends. to it, land is a variable to be optimized. To farmers, it's home. The agri-tech experiment has turned fields into formulas and people into predictions. Palm Springs, the predictive retreat. Luxury and data merge in the desert. Every rental, every resort, every poolside villa is priced by AI in real time. It reads travel bookings, weather forecasts, and even social media sentiment to adjust rates minute by minute. The wealthiest travelers leave digital footprints, and the machine follows, optimizing comfort for profit. For developers, Palm Springs is a sandbox for the future of hospitality. For the locals, it's a casino where the house always wins because the house is the algorithm itself. Santa Monica, the algorithmic paradise. This city has perfected the illusion of balance. AI handles everything, from rental pricing to waste collection to energy use. Each decision is framed as sustainability, but beneath the branding is behavioral engineering. Homes are tagged with emotion scores, predicting how a buyer will feel inside a space before they visit. It's marketing at a molecular level. Every light fixture, every paint shade, every window placement is tested by AI to maximize desirability. It's a simulation of perfection, and it works. But perfection comes at a price. The algorithmic paradise is addictive. Once you live in a world that predicts your wants, you forget how to choose for yourself. From San Jose to Santa Monica, California has become the laboratory of AI real estate. The technology that once promised to solve housing inequality has instead revealed a mirror of our values. Efficiency over empathy, prediction over possibility, data over dreams. But even as algorithms write our future, they can't erase our instinct to question it. Because no matter how advanced the system becomes, the most unpredictable variable will always be us, the human equation. And as long as we're part of the market, the story is still being written. You've been watching Artificial Equity, where the code meets the concrete. Truth in value